Okay, I want to discuss more at length the fact that many of the people who really attack the sex industry, such as Julie Bendel, are also against marriage. Um, Julie Bendel did not believe in marriage equality. She thought that um, LGBT community should not have sought marriage because she believed that kind of marriage was contaminated by the abuses of women that had occurred inside marriage. Okay. What I'd like to point out is the fact that abuses did occur inside marriage does not necessarily mean marriage is a bad thing. In fact, it doesn't mean marriage is a bad thing at all. Okay. There have been schools in which abuses have occurred. There have been schools in which children have been molested. Children have been physically abused. Children have been killed. Does that mean schooling is a bad thing? I don't think so. And I don't think most people think so. And I think it is the same with marriage. I also, the fact that, and I also think that you have to also look empirically at data which suggests that marriage may actually act to some degree as a, again, to some degree, as a kind of safeguard against abuses. Most studies have shown that both women, adult women, and minor children are more likely to be sexually and physically abused in cohabiting relationships than in legal marriages. Now, does that sound strange? Okay, let me try to unpack that or suggest a possible reason. I think that in a possible reason is that in legal marriage, the people have made a public statement that they planned to stay together. And that public statement commits them to each other and to the greater society in a way that they're not committed to each other or to the greater society in a cohabiting relationship. And that might account for the greater level of abuses in cohabitation. That's just a possibility. But, Julie Bendel basically wants heterosexual men to keep it in their zipper. Okay. She doesn't want them to see prostitutes, but she also doesn't want them to marry. So, to a large extent, she believes that basically, unless women pursue them, which of course does not happen very often in the real world, men should be celibate. Kind of understandably she believes that because she is what's called a political lesbian. Okay. But that does put a lot of men in a kind of bind. Another problem is, since she claims to uphold a kind of women's cause, or she does claim to uphold women's cause, but The man is supposed to say no if the woman wants him to pay her for sex. He's also supposed to say no if the woman wants a marriage. You know, to some degree, the man could be submitting to the, in some, or at least in some cases, to the woman's will in marrying. And yet Julie Bindel would oppose that. She would say that he has to say no to her if she wants a marriage.